You by Imperatorius, singing about my favorite type of mission. I mean, it is a HellDiver's job to protect the weak and save lives, but it feels good to do good. And the civilians we yeet right from the ravenous alien jaws of death are always appreciative of your efforts. There was one mission that I witnessed where a team was trying to extract a group of civilians left behind on Vernon Wells, and just as the shuttle was about to take off, the bots dropped in a factory strider, cannon aimed right at the cockpit. You figure everyone's dead, and that it was all for nothing. But then a HellDiver started firing on the strider with their autocannon, demanding the metal beast's attention. Can you imagine how those people felt as their ship rose into the air, watching this diver fight a 5,000-ton piece of robotic death? And winning? The divers won the day and climbed over the smoldering, exploded remains of that strider to reach the extraction point and come home safe and sound. That's the kind of story I really, really like. As far as the Galactic War goes, things are actually proceeding at a good pace. The Major Order is already a third satisfied, and it seems High Command really enjoys these Killcat-related campaigns. I imagine my HellDivers do too, seeing as how you pursue them with such rigor. I made the mistake of saying that it was unlikely that the Liberation Fleet would be able to hold Socorro 3, and you all immediately yelled, "Fluff that," and proved me wrong. As of right now, 60,000 super destroyers are deforesting this bug-infested bog with your nearly upgraded orbital artillery. I am especially fond of watching the new 120mm guidance systems splatter bugs. Yeah, I can see everything you guys do up here from the satellite feed. At the rate you boys are turning bugs into modern art pieces, we should have Socorro 3 nicely cleaned up in the next day or so. Strangely enough, Crimsica is slowly losing some ground, which I guess does kind of make sense considering the Major Order-related planet is hoovering up manpower like an especially attractive French maid. Vandalon 4's defenders have been completely screwed over. But at this point, it's happened so often that they're just used to it, and the planet has begun to lose some liberation value, even with the bots completely cut off from Cyberstan. Sorry, guys. Again. Once the Socorro system has been secured, then it's off to Esker, where I'll put those fungicidal agents on the Mercy to the test, not to mention my janitorial specialist skills. If all else fails and divers insist on tracking bug guts back onto my ship, I'm just going to shoot you. Politely. I'm done fluffing around. Now, let's discuss some of the new changes to our incendiary weapon stock today. I had erroneously dismissed the change to the flamethrower fuel formula as a downgrade, but really, it's just different. While it cannot pierce the armor on a charger's leg to flambe it in moments, it can kill them just as fast, if not faster, by roasting their rumps. Charger butts are a larger target, so trick the big lug into running into something they can't knock over to stun them, and then give them a napalm enema. Or just wait for them to pass by and spray fire at the backsides when they pause to try to reacquire you. Like I said, just different. The incendiary breaker is just a straight-up heartbreaker, though. This weapon was already extremely ammo-hungry, and with the recent cutbacks, it's just starving to death and wasting away. So, practice your usual animal conservation tricks. Call in supply drops once every 3 minutes. They'll stick around even if you don't use them. Grab other divers, fallen primaries if yours runs out. Always be scavenging ammo drops from your surroundings. And rely a little more on your other weapons. The Bushwhacker is truly an excellent bug blaster, able to gently persuade a stalker to respect your personal space. And smaller bugs like hunters and scavengers can easily be one-shot. One thing you could do is use the eye breaker to set your target alight, and then finish it off with a Bushwhacker, Verdict, or whatever your favorite flavor of secondary is. Or just close the gap and beat your blazing target to death with your bare hands. Remember, to a HellDiver, everything is a weapon, including your own body. Let's move on to discuss these new verified termitid strains, starting with the Impaler, which deceptively looks like a larger charger at first glance. Much larger. These foul creatures plunge their heads into the dirt to produce 3 large tendrils which they can reach out really far to poke at you. Are they dangerous? Yes. but less so if you keep moving. They appear to only be able to feel your vibrations through the soil and lack any kind of vision organs, so they're making blind guesses. So long as you keep on moving in a perpendicular direction to the tentacles, you should be able to avoid them. That being said, these creatures are sturdily built, to the point that they could soak 2 railkin strikes with no sweat. When they're projecting their tendrils, their long orange heads are exposed, and that is their weak point. Impact grenades, machine gun fire, orbital strikes, air strikes, pretty much anything you can throw at it that goes boom, blam, or possibly fastoosh will do plentiful damage. They just take a lot of pepper to bring down. When their heads are retracted, they're covered by a thick armor plating, making them even more durable and deny you access to this weak point. They can also take swipes at you if they aren't projecting their tentacles, but they're pretty slow and awkward, so this is pretty easy to avoid. They're also very vulnerable to fire, especially flamethrowers, as they are immobile when projecting their tentacles, and setting them alight and roasting some marshmallows over their burning carcasses is a good way of getting rid of them. Napalm strikes are especially brutal on them. Oh, I should also mention that there are unconfirmed rumors of us possibly getting a napalm orbital barrage. Nothing official has crossed my desk, but if this is true, this could be extremely useful at your next Impaler barbecue. Just, something to be hopeful for the future about. Next on the list is the Spore charger, or what I like to call the fart bag. These things aren't exactly subtle. They're a terminate form that has evolved in a manner similar to spore spear towers, though they're not capable of triggering spore fall events towards the planet, Liberty be merciful. They radiate a thick cloud that is capable of blocking vision as they move around, which gives the rest of the swarm cover. I'm sorry, I'm just still giggling over the words fart bag, excuse me. Okay, I think I'm good. I got it out of my system. We can move on. Any good HellDiver worth their salt maintains a good amount of situational awareness, be it through their personal radar or just keeping an ear out for termites skittering about. They can be unnaturally quiet, but not silent, especially when they're on the hunt. Once located in the gloom, a fart bag can be identified by green growths all over their bodies. I don't think that there are any behemoth versions of these, but you never know. I guess that would be a big fart, huh? At any rate, roast their butts with a flamethrower, blast their heads off with eats, or recoilless, or engaged in the tried and true rocket leg break and bullet fatality strategy. Aside from the fart cloud, they're not different from any other charger. Oh, thank heavens, that's all the notes I've got for them. Yeah, let's quickly move on. I'm barely holding it together. Lastly, I don't have an official designation for these, but I call them Devilkin Brood Commanders on account of their uniquely demonic skull shape that looks like a V. These things are faster than normal, more angry than normal, tougher, and can summon other enhanced terminate warriors or Devilkin who share their Brood Commander's improved combat abilities. Like, to the point that HellDivers at a full sprint will have a hard time getting away from an especially enraged Devilkin, and they do a lot of damage. These things hit really hard. You can't just run away from the swarm now when things get tough. You're gonna have to fight your way clear. These things are very dangerous and should be dropped first. They're almost as fast as a pouncing hunter, which is extremely distressing. That's been Liberty's Latest with me, Pondera, the Radio Angel. We will continue the Socorro campaign tomorrow and conduct further analysis of the swarm's evolution to see if there are any other surprises that await us. To fight the bug, we must understand the bug. We can ill afford another Meridia. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.